Crazy attack and little tempo I think have very similar DPS. But I really don't like using crazy attack. It's kind of awkward. It's probably better a bit early game, bigger burst early. But DPS later is the same, and attack speed gives you more DPS as well, because you have more attack speed, attack more often, deal more damage, right? I really like the little tempo a lot more than press attack. On Jinx, both are good in my opinion. You could go press attack, especially if you have engaged support to get more burst. That could help you. But I don't think you should overthink it. When it comes to runes, these two are good. Whichever you prefer, it doesn't matter, right? Now, unless you go Essence River, in which case you're a Giga Chat and based person. If you play Jinx with Essence River, you want Presence of Mind, because, hey... we want presence of mind, you know. If you don't have presence of mind, you don't have mana, and you're sad. Yep. Triumph, Absolute Life, no way when you don't have mana. It doesn't matter. You can kill without mana. It doesn't matter if you have full HP, you have no mana, you're useless. So it's very important to go presence of mind on Jinx. Like, just have to, you know. It's still gonna be League of Tanks. Yeah, I mean, tanks are gonna be strong. Yes. We'll see if Ryan needs to nerf tanks. But again, remember, those are the changes we saw on PBE. Things might change once season release. We are gonna get patch notes in like a couple days. Okay, we are gonna have to wait a little bit. Then when that happens, I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys updated. Okay. Now, for the second row here, this is okay. Haste. We don't need haste for ADC Jinx, right? Okay. Now, Bloodline versus Alacrity, guys. So, in my opinion, both are good. Okay? Bloodline allows you to just be full HP between fights in mid-game, better sustain. It's nice. Laning phase matters a bit less because you need to stack it. But mid-lane game is very nice. Don't have to rush, like lifesteal item stuff is good. But through testing both of them over the years, especially recently, I played with both, changing between them very often. Honestly, I feel like Alacrity is better for Jinx. Like, it kind of feels better. You know, you're not Draven, right? For Jinx, attack speed, you want as much DPS as possible, because you just stay safe, staying max range, and using your movement speed to like kite and stuff, right? So, personally, I could say you can take both, whichever you prefer. Alacrity seems better for me. I like it a bit more right now. This gives you some HP as well, so in hard games, you could take Bloodline if you want. It's gonna maybe make it easier for you. Up to you to decide. Personally, I like Alacrity more. As for the third row, last stand, where I DC, right? So, Coup de Grace versus Cut Down. Cut Down, unfortunately, is no longer more damage to tanks. It's just more damage to people that are high HP, like almost full HP. Coup de Grace, people that are low HP, right? Here, Cut Down 100% correct, right? Now you could take Coup de Grace if you want. I feel like again it's up to you, but personally, and this is just true, Cut Down deals more damage than Coup de Grace in every single game. Cut Down, more damage. 100% correct, 100% true. Why? Because let's say you're laning phase. Enemies are full HP, you trade, they use a potion, they are again above 60%, you trade, this is active all the time. Right? And if enemies fall low HP below 40%, they just recall. So it's like Coup de Grace could only help you like get a bit, maybe finish a kill late game and stuff, but you're gonna hit people full HP more often than not. And especially early game, cut down is more damage. This will help you win laning phase easier, because early game you don't have to kill your enemies to win. If you take them low HP, you make them recall, you can push away, get the plate recall as well, it's insane. You don't need to kill them to win lane. So cut down 100% better than Coup de Grace for ADCs. Now if you're an assassin, Coup de Grace better? Yeah, sure. Right? ADC cut down better. 100%. There's no doubt about it, right? Cool. Now for the secondaries. This is easy, you know, this makes sense. You know, you could change a couple things, maybe. Cool. But this is easy to know, very easy to understand. Now, for the secondary runes. For the secondary runes, I think, are the death of me. Like, I'm never really sure about secondary runes. It's so hard to say. But I think I have a good understanding right now. I can give you some tips. Is a Coup de Grace better for Jinx's ult? But you need to understand the fact that if you don't have cut down, enemies might not be even be in Coup de Grace ult range because they're not low enough. You need to understand that as well. right? So this is why cut down is just always better, it's just more damage. Same as, oh, Collector could have killed that, say some smart asses in the chat sometimes, right? Oh, if you have Collector, you could have killed with ultimate there. Yeah, but without cut down, then we would not be low enough in the first place to die from Collector. You know, or like if I didn't have, sorry, I was mixing things up. If I didn't have like Yuntal instead of Collector, he wouldn't be low enough in the first place, you know? That's what I meant to say. So it's like, you know, right? It's not all about getting the kill. It's about getting people low enough to die in the first place. Okay, so please, like, really trust me on this. So if you don't want to, you want Coup de Grace again. It's not the end of the world. The difference is not that massive. It's whatever. It's fine. You know, it's okay. It's not the end of the world if you don't go cut down. It's fine. No problem. All right. So secondary runes. Yeah. Here we have the second row for the supports. So there's no way we want this. We're going to go through all of them and see what they have to offer and kind of narrow it down. So basically we just cut down, pun intended, the runes that are useless to us, and we see what we are left and we make a decision. Okay? Last time anyone? No. You're ADC, you're full HP most of the time. If you're low HP, you're dead most of the time. Okay. Cool. Kadam is also a 40% HP range, so in my opinion, Coup de Grace is better. If the enemy starts the fight at 99% HP, Coup de Grace does more already. Okay, but you also, this is the last time I'm going to talk about this, then move on. You saved their 99% HP, last Coup de Grace does more. I disagree, because if enemies are, let's say, 2% HP, they are 2% HP, your damage, basic attack deals 5% of his HP. So it's like it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, you wasted it. Right? Basically. You know? So your point is invalid. And the stats don't like. Could they cut down just this more damage? You take somebody to 60% health, they use a potion, they're back to full HP, cut down helps again. Okay? And again, in lane phase, you don't have to kill the enemies to win the lane. So cut down is just better. Okay, guys? You can disagree with me. My opinion, and I know this. Cut down is better. That's fine. If you don't believe me, that's also fine. Okay? Please keep that in mind. You do what you want. I'm just giving you tips. No problem. It's okay for you guys to disagree, to argue a little bit with me, tell me if something is wrong. Right? But here I'm just 100% confident, right? But I like when people challenge my points. I make a point, I make a statement, I want people to challenge it. Right? Because that's how we learn, that's how I learn. You know, I don't want to lie to myself and to you guys. You know? It's cool, right? You also might get more value if someone's 61%. Yeah, like if somebody's 61% and deal 5%, with Kado you deal 6%. You know, you go below the 60% threshold with extra damage. That's also the very point, right? With cut down. Yeah, we're just having conversation. Exactly, right? Oh, of course, right? It's no problem, right? It's okay for you guys to disagree with me. That's very good. I'm glad you guys disagree sometimes. That's very good, right? It keeps me in check so I don't spread misinformation. Okay. Now, again, secondaries. We don't go for these warding things. No. Okay. Now, cheap shot, taste of blood, sudden impact. Okay, we're talking about Jinx here. Sudden impact, no way. No dashes. Flash, no. Oh, come on. Taste of blood, a little bit of sustaining lane. Very little bit, right? And cheap shot, not really. You don't really move impair enemies. It means you have to like W them, which is not guaranteed. You have to E, which is definitely not guaranteed. In my opinion, these are not that good, but you know, I mean, they work on Jinx at least. They give you some benefit, unlike these four, right? That's what I want to say. I just want to eliminate the things that don't make sense at all, right? Treasure Hunter for snowballing. Interesting, right? Relentless Hunter out of movement speed out of combat. So you can get mid-wave, go somewhere else. Interesting, maybe, right? And Ultimate Hunter, which is a funny one. But you know, these 5 things could work. These are kind of our options here. We'll see if we have better options, right? Sorcery. The Axiom Arcanist, we talked a little about this before, but basically your ult deals a bit more damage. And if you get takedown, your current cooldown of the ultimate gets reduced. So if you ult at the start of the fight, you're not going to have ult twice in the same fight. You will not. It's impossible, right? So a bit more damage on ultimate. It's not really that good on Jinx. I'm gonna be honest, doesn't really make much difference. But yeah, there's an option, I guess, if you want to, right? Mana flow I tested a lot of times because I had mana issues. I tested mana flow a lot. It's very, very difficult to hit W and E enough times, 10 times, to stack mana flow. It's so difficult. It's just not needed. I feel like Presence of Mind is fine. Just don't spam chompers like me, like an idiot. And you're gonna be fine with mana on Jinx most of the time, right? I really think this is not for Jinx. It's just not good. It's kind of okay if you want, but I might just go SS3 or something at that point, right? And get damage rune instead. Nimbus Cloak is something I used to take. This is definitely an option. Because you flash, you barrier, you whatever ghost, you have more speed. Speed means you can dodge and stuff. It's kind of cool, you know. This is something you could consider sometimes. It's cool. Transcendence. Haste. You don't need haste on Jinx. Come on. Celerity. Movement speed bonuses are more effective on you. And you get 1% movement speed. This is a very interesting one. I never took this on Jinx, but there could be potential if you go like movement speed items. You go static shift and you buy a Rune as well, maybe, or something, right? Or Kraken. It's like you get more speed. I don't know. Good baby, right? It's a baby, right? You're faster. Cool. Faster means you can dodge more stuff, right? Interesting, right? Let's give absolute focus and get this team getting storm at the end. Scorch. I guess, but no, not really for ADCs. No, it's not for Jinx. I like this start one. It's this kind of like you deal more damage. It's like every now 10 seconds. But do you poke that much? I mean, I guess you could maybe, right? I think you have better options here. Iris with a tier 1. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I can't pronounce names, but thank you. Now, water walking, you're faster in. You get more force in the river. Yeah, this is for like supports and junglers, really. Not really for you that much. It's useless in laning phase, right? Now, okay. Speaking of useless in laning phase, absolute focus and gathering storm. This is something a lot of the times I take. These two I take a lot of the times. I used to take them all the time and stuff. Why? Because gathering storm, right? Scales, game longer, you just deal more damage, more AD. Right? But recently I had issues with games being too short. Right? Because the higher up in elo you go, the game's length goes down. Okay? And I can show you this. I could show you this in League of Graphs. Next season is going to be different. My prediction that next season games will be longer. That's my prediction. We don't know, right? But let's say you are in gold, silver, bronze-ish. Game including surrender is like 30 minutes, excluding surrender 32 minutes, right? So on average, with Gathering Storm, if you're gold and below, you are gonna get 29 AD from it late game in the last fight, which is crazy good. It's good value, right? But you go above Master, GM, Challenger, it's like 26, 25, even without surrenders. You don't really get value out of it. It's like you get 14 AD maybe towards the end of the game. But it doesn't even matter as much because early game is more important. So for me, Gathering Storm bad, right? Absolute focus, the same. Absolute focus scales with your level. So game length, basically. Same problem. These runes basically do the same thing. Right? So, yeah. Verdict on these two ones are always, if you're lower elo, they are better, they are very good. The higher up in elo you go, the worse they become. But they are definitely a good option. Yeah? The fact that Barrows now spawns at 25, 10, 20 should make games go longer. And many other things, right? So the game average... the game average might go up. Okay? So if the game average goes up, Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm will become better, right? So definitely, basically, like, let's do this. If I were to go Domination, I would probably go like Treasure Hunt, Taste of Blood or something, right? Maybe. Or I don't know. But if we would go Sorcery, I would go this and that. And if you compare Domination with Sorcery, which one is better? Definitely Sorcery, right? So you can kind of exclude Domination for secondary on Jinx, you know? Basically, right? How about not dying with these runes? Maybe, right? Why not? Maybe, right? Who knows? Especially because game length might go up. But I'm trying to figure out our options, basically, right? But Domination, I could say we could cross out. No, you don't really need. I don't think Domination gives you much on Jinx, okay? So... if I were to go Sorcery, definitely this. Okay? If you're crazy this, maybe. If you're more crazy this, or a combination, because you might like more mobility. But personally, like on Jinx especially, if you go Sorcery, you go Absolute Focus Gathering Storm. And I think that's it. You really don't go. Mana flow is so awkward now. Right, I think most people will agree on this. I'm quite confident that if you go Sorcery, this is the thing. You play for late game, you play to scale, you're a scaling ADC after all on Jinx. The only problem is if the game is short, you're useless. These are useless, right? But yeah. This is very nice when you get to scale. They are the most powerful secondary runes for Jinx if you reach late game. They are just the best, right? Now reaching it is the problem, that's all, right? I take celerity instead of absolute focus. Fair. Right? Fair. You could do this. Cool, right? Yeah, again, like there's variation. You could go Nimbus Cloak as well. You could many things. They are decent. These ones are decent, right? Personally, this is better, and I have better results with this. I tried all of them, trust me. But these yield best results from my testing in my games, right? But again, if you like small variation, remember, runes are basically personal preference. They are not really gonna make or break your game. If you go absolute focus compared to celerity, right? Maybe you're gonna win one more or gonna lose one more game out of 1,000 games. That's how little the difference is. You know, it's not crazy. Maybe 1,000 is an exaggeration or not enough, but it's not crazy. It's all good, no problem. Okay. Anyway, moving on to resolve. Okay. This is interesting because, okay, shield bash. Okay, let's remove the ones that don't work. Okay, shield bash, you don't have shield logics. Let's do barrier, I guess, but that's crazy. Okay. Font of life, again, impairing movement to heal and stuff. Nah, it's for effective 70% range. No, okay? This is not for ADCs, okay, cool. Second wind. After taking damage, you heal. Missing health. So against poke lanes, could be funny, right? Against poke lanes could be funny. Demolish. This cares with health. It's not good on ADC. Okay. Probably not that nice. Celerity looks nice on paper, especially in higher elo. Yeah, again, the difference between it's like more speed, so you can dodge a bit more, or more damage, right? Interesting, Okay. Anyway, this top row don't really need this on ADC. We can kind of cross out all of these three. They're not that good. So we go to the second and third rows. Conditioning. After 12 minutes, you gain more armor and MR, and you get a bit more as well, right? This is decent. I did play with this a few times. The problem is that increase your armor and MR by 3%. But you don't have that much in the first place. So 3% is like maybe you get 1, 2, or 3. 3 maximum. Let's say you get like 3 armor and 3 MR. Around that. It's not that big of a deal, right? So yeah, you get 10 armor, 10 MR or something like that in total. It's like, okay, cool, you're a bit more tanky. Sure, if they have assassins, no problem, right? But you'll probably still get one shot by assassins, fair point, right? No problem, right? It's like, it's kind of cool, but as an ADC, I'd rather, like, instead of this, how about you just go celerity so you don't get hit in the first place? I'm just saying, just saying, right? We talked about second wind already, maybe against hard poke lanes. Bomb plating could be a cool thing if they have burst, I guess, for survivability, right? This is all survivability, but as an ADC, I don't really want to use my runes on defensive. I'd rather get damage, I'm flinching, armor and MR, scaling, control. Nah, heal and shield power, no, I don't have that on Jinx. And then overgrowth, you kill minions, you get more health. And again, maximum health percentage. You don't really have that much on ADC anyway. So these are like for tanks, mostly. So personally, like, as an ADC, you could do something funny and stuff. But personally, I feel like don't even bother. Like, in my opinion, getting Doran shield instead of blade is way better than fixing poke issues with runes. Fair point, right? So personally, on ADCs, you shouldn't really go defensive on runes that much, So in my opinion, I kind of cross out resolve. Not really. I mean, if I'm against 5 assassins, sure, but no, don't bother. Like whatever, right? So we're left with sorcery, which in sorcery we have good options, right? All these 4 options, maybe less Nimbus. It's not that good. Nimbus is not that good. It's better with Smite, for example, right? But you have these 3 for sure. that are great. You know, these three are amazing. You know, you can go whichever you want. Alright, but let's go to inspiration, which is what I currently use. Alright, let's get over, you know, the hex flash. Come on, you're not gonna hex flash an ADC. This is for like Nautilus in brush hex flash hook, you know, not an ADC. Okay, you don't need this. It's just as an ADC. Okay, cool. Now, magical footwear, cashback, biscuits. We're gonna leave this for the end because they're actually really good ones. Triple tonic, elixir of avarice, 4 skill. I don't even know who takes this rune. This rune is a bit weird, and it's like maybe if you wanna have fun, you could take this, but this is just very limited power. It's kind of like very temporary. Use it for a fight and that's it. It's like, personally, I don't think this is great. I never see this being more useful than biscuits, for example, and stuff. I just don't see it. Or getting damage in your runes in the first place. You know, that's permanent and scales like crazy, like Gathering Storm, right? I think we can agree this is not great. Right? Now, Time Warp is interesting. If you consume a potion, you get 40% instantly. I mean, instead of getting 40% instantly from potions you buy, how about you get biscuits that you get for free? Especially because ADCs are gold reliant, item reliant. You don't want to spend more gold on potions. You know, just get these for free, right? Okay, cool. Now, Cosmic Insight. It's an interesting one because it gives you item haste, which whatever. When you had Gale Force, this was huge. But now you don't. So now you only care about Summoner Spell Haste. So you want your barrier, maybe your flash sooner. You could go for this. But when we are going to look at the other things, we realize that Cosmic Insight is not that good because of the other options are better, in my opinion. Right? This could work though if you want faster flash, sure, no problem, right? Approach velocity, this is like for Ashe because you slow on every basic attack, so you go towards enemies faster. On Jinx, you'd have to like land W, which is hard to do already. And when ally CC at 1000 range, it's like you're already in like W range, so it's not like you need to get closer anyway. I don't know. It's kind of feels useless on Jinx, in my opinion. Right? Okay, now Jack of all trades. You're gonna like reach 5 stacks because you get AD, attack, speed, crit. Basically, you just get more adaptive force if you have a ton of different stats. But on ADC, you have attack damage, attack speed, move speed, maybe lifesteal, crit damage. That's it, right? That's all. You know, you don't make use of Jack of all trades. I think it's not that good. I tested it with like Kraken builds and stuff. Not really. It's not really that good. Might as well go Gathering Storm Absolute Focus. It's better. I'm sure it's better. Right? If you are sure you can complete Eyeball, Treasure Hunter, are they still bad? Yes, because there's no more Eyeball collection. They removed them. Okay, anyway. Now we get to the good ones. Okay, free boots, magical footwear. Alright, magical footwear. They give you free boots, so 300 gold for free after like 10 minutes on average, depending on how many takedowns you get. Right? Basically, you finish your first item, you have boots for free. That gives you 10 movement speed as well. Wow! So it's like 10 movement speed. You could argue is very similar to 1% move speed and then a bit more from bonus. So in a way, celerity is boots for free. So you get more gold and the speed. 10 movement speed is huge. So in my opinion, like magical footwear on ADC is just brilliant and it's amazing. It's very huge, very strong. Especially if you don't really want to go many Zeal items and like Kraken and static shift items that give you speed. Like magical footwear is just amazing for ADCs. Like it's honestly amazing. Okay. And the topic of that, with gold, they're giving you gold. Cashback gives you 6% gold back when you purchase legendary items. Okay. So let's do calculator. Okay. 6%. Let's say you buy Infinity Edge, 3600. Okay. And you multiply this by, let's see, 0.6, right? Wait, that's 60%. 0.06. Okay. How much gold do you get if you purchase Infinity Edge? 200. Okay. And if you buy cheaper item, it's like 100 something. So it's like you buy 2 items, consider you can buy Infinity Edge, second, which is crazy. And it's like you get boots, basically. But you don't get movement speed. So for this to actually make a difference, you need third item, and most of the time game's over by that time. So you see how cashback just doesn't make sense when you have the boots, which gives you gold faster. You get 3 boots faster than you buy your 2 items, and you get movement speed faster than you buy like 3 items. So it's like, I just don't see why I would go cashback when magical footwear exists. But I just don't see it personally. I feel like it's stupid to go cashback when you have 3 boots. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Free boots are actually better than celerity since the percent movement speed items will have a higher base value. Fair. Okay. Now last one is biscuits. Okay. Which we get 3 potions that give you missing health and it gives you max health, you know. Basically biscuits are good for early game. They give you extra potions for free, you don't have to buy them. It's very nice. I don't know. It's cool, right? Biscuits, grandma's biscuits. You just get cookies. You can't say no to grandma's biscuits. You just get cookies. Of course you want cookies, you know? Why not? Right? So, there you go. Right? And these are the runes I use a lot. Currently as well. Because it's just early game skewed, right? And going over all the options, right? Resolve domination, not so good. Going over like sorcery, we kind of see how all the other things here don't really make sense. And then we'll look at celerity. It's like, why go celerity when you can get boots? We are kind of left with biscuits and boots or gathering storm and absolute focus. Personally, right? You want to play for early game, go biscuit boots. Maybe your higher elo, early game is more important. Or doesn't matter your lower elo or game length just increases next season. Hey, absolute focus gathering storm. Boom. Right? That's what I'm saying. One late game or one early game. That's what you do. In my opinion, these are kind of the only options you have right now. Right? Maybe go the full rev through instead of cookies. You mean like triple Toric and stuff. It's like, again, maybe. But I feel like just getting 3 boots for the hard lanes when you need extra sustain is more helpful. They saved my life so many times. You use them with a lower HP in a fight. They give you so much health back. It's insane. They actually saved my life so many times. And max health for early game as well, you know. So again, like you can always do small variations if you think this helps you. If you think this helps you a bit more. This helps you a bit more. You can do small variations. Always, right? But personally, from testing and personal, like playing the game for such a long time and so on, and playing Jinx and so on, right? You want late game, absolute focus getting storm, early game, boots, biscuits. Yeah. So, yeah. Which one will I go for at the start of the season? Well, it depends. If I want to play early game build with static shift, for example, I'm going biscuits and boots all game. Let's play for the early game. Let's go early game. But if let's say I want to switch to full crit because I think games are longer, I'm going to go get the Storm Absolute Focus. Let's play for that full late game. We go full crit. We reach 25-30 minutes, especially Gathering Storm. Oh my god, they explode. We destroy everybody. I join fights, we kill enemy. Right? So, we'll have to see. You know, we'll have to see. Okay? That's basically it. Okay? But, you know, for most people, I think Absolute Focus and Gathering Storm is just easier to use. Because you don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, that's it. But, yeah, it depends what you want, really. It really depends. You know, it really depends. Especially lower elo games are longer. These are definitely better for you. Right? So you can go both, no problem. Okay, don't be afraid to make your choice. It's all good. Okay, and now for these little flex runes. Okay, let's start with the top one. I guess let's do it in order. Force, attack speed, or haste. Haste we don't really want on Jinx. Okay, that's it. You know, okay, we don't really need it. Now attack speed or force. Well, how much is 9 adaptive force? Lol wiki adaptive force. Okay, let's go here and we'll see that. Where is it? 1 point of adaptive force is 0.6 bonus AD. Right? And here they show runes like, where is it? Adaptive force rune shards on this amazing wiki. And they say, okay, look, do you want 5.4 bonus attack damage or do you want 10 attack speed? That's basically it. You know? That's what, yeah. So, from playing the game a lot again, I can tell you that the bonus attack speed kind of feels better, you know? Especially because, like, you want to buy attack damage items, you want to buy Infinity Edge, you want to buy LDR, they don't have attack speed, right? So going this attack speed rune here just feels better. If you go for this, you feel a bit more sluggish. Especially early game, it's harder to last hit without the extra attack speed. It's kind of annoying. You have more wind-up animations, a bit harder. Right? It's a bit harder. So I recommend to everybody I also take this. I used to not take this because of weird things happening with Yuntal with 50 AD. I couldn't two-shot minions and so on and so on. But don't overthink it. I feel like you just get attack speed because it's just, yeah, that's it. It's just better in my opinion. It's easier to use, nicer. It feels better to play. You also have to worry about how the game feels to play. In my opinion, the game feels better to play with this and it's stronger. So you go for this. Right, okay, cool. Now, as for the here, super set move speed. Do you want super set move speed? I don't know. Health scaling. I don't know. 9 force. We get 5.4 attack damage and 10 attack speed. Yeah, sure. Attack speed, attack damage, because that's what we care about ADC. That's what we care about on ADC. Yeah, that's what we need. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense, right? And now for the last one, it's a bit more interesting. You know why? Because we have an option but to go something defensive. And me going defensive on ADC, that's crazy. So do you want flat health? Do you want tenacity and slow resist? Well, this is no. Okay, this is no, first of all. If you get hit by CC, it doesn't matter if it's 10% less. You're still kind of dead. Okay, so we have to choose between scaling health or flat health. Okay, so let's think about early game. Or like, let's first of all talk about when the difference happens, right? So basically at level 6, this is better. At level 7, this is better. Okay, so do you want early game? Do you want late game? That's what you would think. But let me tell you why that's not true. This is not a choice between early game and late game. Because as an ADC, you are in bot lane, you share your XP with your support, you are less than level 7 more. You're low level more, you're low level a lot, like in any other role. Right? If you're solo lane, this is always better, in my opinion. Or most of the time. But if you're ADC, I feel like bonus health is better. Also because low HP early game could, like, if you're like low HP early, you fight and you escape like 10 HP level 5 or something, like level 4. There's so many examples, and actually I stand by this. Like this rune single-handedly saved my life so many times. You fight level 3, you escape like 10 HP, 20 HP. It's insane. And this you would have died with this, right? It's just crazy how much better this is. Because late game, right? But now you might say, oh, but this is better late game. What if I'm late game? Well, late game is like having 100 more health. You know, let's say you are 800 health now. Vega rules you. You take 1200 damage. Do you really need 100 extra health? You still get one shot. It doesn't matter. This matters early game where like you have a fighting chance against when people hit you. Here, late game, when people hit you, are dead anyway. It doesn't really matter. So trust me, on ADC, go health, especially on Jinx. But on ADC, like health, like not scaling, flat health, is just better. Trust me on this one. I tested so much. I play with both. It's incredible how many times this saved my life. It's absolutely crazy, absolutely bonkers. It's insane. It's so cool, right? And you combine this with the extra health from the biscuits, if you want to go for that. It's like a lot of the times they're going to be like 50 health. Living with 50 health is kind of cool, right? This helps your early game so much, right? And even if you have Gathering Storm, this still helps your early game, you know? It's like, yeah, you play for late game, but you gotta go to the early game to reach late game. So it's gonna help you, you know? It's cool. I still take scaling for self-moral support in I'm gonna be stronger eventually kind of way. But I mean, you know, like this is again, if you take this, if you take this over this, maybe you're gonna win or lose one game in 500 games. It's really not gonna make that difference. Yeah, you know, this rune saved me from dying many times. You know, maybe it saves me 5 out of 100 games early game. I mean, if I give one kill early game, it doesn't mean I have to lose the late game anyway. So it's not like it matters that much, you know. And there might be situations in late game where actually this might have saved my life, right? So again, it's not a big of a difference. It's fine. take whichever you prefer. Personally, I think this is better, you know, same with Countdown. I just think it's better, you know, and I feel like the stats don't lie, right? So, you know, cool. Now, this is runes, okay? So this I recommend. Gathering Storm also focus with this stuff on the left and here, right? Or if you want to play for early game, go for this. Yeah, that's basically it. That's the easiest way to play the game, most fun, nicest, okay, cool. That's kind of it, right? Which one will I go for? I don't know yet. We'll see, right?